Ever thought about running a nursery? A life under the sun amongst those flowers. Over the next 12 months, we'll show you the nursery year. The happy, sad, and depressed. We'll give it to you straight. I'm Malcolm Hopper. This is Eggleston Hall Gardens. So you want to run a nursery? We shall see. Winter's a good time for dealing with your old stock. Here we have a load of double primulas. These are the ballerina mixed, or whatever they're called. But these are lovely double primulas. Now the temptation is to get in there. You'll see some of them have got flower buds on. And you get in there and people pick around and minge about at it, picking off bits and pieces, and they spend about 5 minutes on each one. Complete waste of time. What you have to do is just cut them right back, like that. If you spend 5 minutes on it and you've got like 300, as there is here, well, that's about 1500 minutes, isn't it? Several days. 10 seconds. So you just clean them off, a little bit of fertilizer on there, a little bit of slow release fertilizer, about 2.5 grams, and then you put them under cover to dry off, and they should break away nicely. That will give you some nice early spring sales. It's a good time just to rub, which I'll show you again. You take a plant like this, put your fingers around it, you cut it back to about 1 centimetre or ½ inch above the main crown. Do that. And just rub off the pot. There we are. This applies to lots and lots of nursery plants. You could scratch about with them, making them really nice and attractive, but you're running a nursery, you're not running a private garden. You have to be quick and you have to be concise in everything you do where you've got quantities of plants. Really important, or you'll disappear up your own backside. Oh. Come on, dogs. Is that it now? Oh boy, you are just getting so cheeky. You like the worms under the pots, don't you? I'm moving out these rhododendrons. This is our robin. And you'd probably be interested to know what we call him. He picks out those little, there he is, see, he picks out them little worms under the pots. He loves them. We call him Bob. He's always called Bob. We are nothing if not original. God, my hands are cold. burning stove was put in here to keep my arse warm, not yours. Oi, Tucker, you're meant to be out there being a real man, catching rabbits and doing your stuff, not sat in here just because there's a little bit of frost. You big Jessie. Now about to get a masterclass in Epimediums. What are we doing here?
Making divisions. So
Right.
basically, just move that. Knock your plant out. Break it up a bit. Get all the old soil off. And then try and feel your way to the middle of the plant and just break away.
And the idea is to make a tray full of divisions.
Yeah,
What?
a tray of 20,
Right, yeah.
hopefully.
And then you just repot the rest up to sell.
Yeah,
That way you keep like a good base stock, would you say?
yeah.
Right. And these will all be... Yeah. Epimedium. Which one is this?
Alabaster.
Right. This is the essence of nursery work, really. If you just buy plants in from Holland or somewhere like that, you're no better than a shopkeeper. The whole point of a nursery is to be that, and that's to raise young plants. This is what Helen is supreme at doing. Each of these divisions, you can see the new growth on them, can't you, just here?
Yeah, coming through. It's a bit more obvious on
Nice.
different varieties.
Right,
Some are more advanced than others.
yeah. Yeah, alabaster, as I remember, is one of the weaker growers. It's hard to overemphasize the problems we have with wind. I don't mean me personally. Like everybody, I get my fair share. It's the wind when you're high up in the Pennines like we are. The decimation can be intense. It can be very depressing because sturdy trees up, and even when they're in large 30, 40, 50 litre pots, they still get blown over. I mean, look at these cedars here. Okay, they were in a transition. We were going to repot them, but it's just so depressing, and you end up having to redo the same things over and over again. There was a case a few weeks ago where two or three of my staff and I, we put everything up, and then about 2 hours later, one big gust of wind like that, and buggered the whole job again. And of course the glass houses. we have to shut down all the glass houses. Now, some of our glass houses are Victorian, two of the large ones, and while they're very useful, they do cause us problems in wind if we leave a vent open even slightly. But people do like to see old glass houses. I don't know why. I think it's just a romantic notion from Victorian times. So inside this pine, it's a dwarf pine, and if you look at it, if you have a few extras, you can think to yourself, well, there's another tree in there, another plant waiting to come out. And this is what we're going to do to it, bit by bit. So there, the first thing to do is to have a quick look around it, stand it on a stool and see what you can do with it. The first things we need to do is to get some layers into it, and if you look at the tree you start thinking where there are some natural layers. You need to think horizons. You need to think about what a plant looks like on a horizon, maybe a distorted pine, something that's leaning over. And then if there is a lean, the idea is to accentuate that lean. You can use your secateurs as a plane, so cut into them, and anything above that you can thin out. You need to keep stopping and looking back at what you're doing. And now we're starting to open out the heart of this thing. And you can often work from the bottom upwards. You can see there's a lovely layer. Keep twisting it round. There's a lovely layer developing there. This here, we can see this branch here starting to come out at an angle. It's a good job for at this sort of time because it's cold. Starting to really open up now. In some Eastern forms of gardening, they like to see the exposed bark of a tree because it brings it to life. And by doing it piece by piece, you can then decide where you're going to have the layers develop. Could you stand back a little bit? Because there's a nice natural cloud there. These will put on candles later on, and we pinch the candles back to about ½ an inch, a centimetre, and these little clouds or bushes will bush out and form flat planes. This is the initial stage of the work. Something can come out. I think we're looking at a nice plane there, a nice plane here. We'll have another one there. And I think we need to go up here and get something to balance it, top and right. turn it right round again. See where we are here. Again, have a natural plane there. Turn it off for a bit if you want. Just need to. So, we're starting to bring this out now. We don't want to go too mad at it, although having said that, about 80% of the plant is probably gone now. But I know how this is going to grow, and this, given a year or two, will look nice. It gives us a nice foundation. It gives us a lovely low plane, and then two smaller planes here, clouds if you like. We don't want those two merging too much into each other. And this here we're going to leave at the top to go up, and we may take another one out here. Of course we may not even bother doing that. Cuts need to be clean. And that's that. Now if you look at that, that reflects a tree to me on the landscape. Once these levels fill in, it should look much nicer. I think we might just have that one over there. And we'll fill these out over the next year or two. That gives us a lovely foundation. And if you get the camera down on there, we'll take it outside and stand it up. Now that's got a shape. It won't appeal to everybody. Where you have a rockery or a garden that reflects the landscape, Japanese gardens in particular, once this has grown in, it will look very nice. This is the foundations. It needs about 2 more years of work. Then that should do you. Okay. This doesn't appeal to everybody. But one of the things I find with a lot of pines are that if we don't expose some of the branch, if we don't give them the look and feel or the reflection of nature, they just become blobs of green, blobs of needle with no shape and no form. And I just think these pines are one of the nicest things you can do, one of the nicest things you can use for such work. I like it anyway. And some of my customers absolutely love it. Beginning in January, and I had somebody wrote to me and said, "You don't get your chopper out." Actually, they said, "You don't get your machete out anymore. We like division by machete." Chopper just sounds smuttier. It appeals to my juvenile humour. Anyway, we're about to do that. This is how to divide polygonum. This is a polygonum called or Persicaria. Sorry, it's had its name changed now. They keep changing the names. Plants are always having their bloody names changed. It drives me mad. Like Simicifuga is now Actia. The only way I can remember it is to think of acne. Actia. Yeah. Anyway, digressing. Here's how we chop up and divide Persicaria. This is Firetail. One of the first things we need to do is to clear the old growth. But then you can use some shears for this. It don't really matter. I'm just using secateurs because they're at hand. I should cut a bit of this off. Take too bloody long otherwise. Straight in with a spade. Ah, bollocks! Wow, what a fucking piece of shit. Oh, we'll have to cut that. With the help of editing, here's a piece we prepared earlier. It drives you mad. These days it's hard to get good tools. Look at that. Just one little plug of steel in a hollow stem. And it's mild steel. It's just not man enough for the job.